Season 3 begins where season 2 ended, right at the Sermon on the Mount. So Jesus is giving the sermon, we're all listening, it's beautiful, some are crying, some are happy.
We all find ourselves back home and it's like, what does our life mean now that we have decided to follow?
There's definitely friction among the group and even among Jesus's most loyal and devout followers.
There have been serious problems on the home front with Quintus, one of them being that the tent city is growing, it's getting unruly, it's not bringing in any sort of tax revenue. So this is something that Quintus is pretty mad about. And I think there's other things going on for some of the other characters, but it's just not as important.
Shmuel finally leaves Capernaum and gets to go all the way to Jerusalem, where he can now start investigating false prophecies. And while he's doing that, he gets reports of this Jesus guy performing miracles and doing all this stuff, but he doesn't know where he is.
Nathaniel and Thaddeus are out, they're getting water, and they discover a woman named Veronica. And she has a problem where she's bleeding profusely all the time for years and years. And she wants us desperately to introduce her to Jesus. And we say, all right, I guess.
So Jairus' daughter gets sick, and it's myself, Peter, John in the room, and literally heals her after she's died and tells us not to say a word to anyone.
The Pharisees get really, really, really mad at Jesus and us, and we go swimming, which was super fun, and it looks beautiful, and it was really gross in the water, and I had to take a lot of showers.
There's a big hullabaloo happening over in the Decapolis, and so he jumps on a carriage with a guy he doesn't really like that much and a guy who's his bro, which is Yanni, who's played by Wasim, who's awesome.
And this is super, super cool slow-mo shot.
All of that leads up to the feeding of the 5,000.
So this little kid, he finds like some fish or some bread, and we're like, what is that gonna do, little kid? And then Jesus like, I know what that's gonna do. And so we get all these baskets and we surround ourselves with these baskets, and he fills those baskets.
He comes across Jesus in the middle of everybody after it's all said and done, and Jesus is like, hey man, you need a friend? And Shmuel's like, I don't know about you. And he's like, well, I'll be on this hill if you want to pray. And Shmuel's like, okay.
And we all get in these boats, and then suddenly we are in a storm. The worst storm you could ever imagine. There's lightning, there's waves, and then suddenly, in the corner, we see a figure walking in the water, and we're terrified. We think it's a ghost. People are screaming. We don't know what to do. And then suddenly we realize it's Jesus.
And that sets us up for the next season, which is just welcome to the next ride.